Hey, everybody. Nicole Bascopay here, and today we are going to talk about questions to ask your wedding venue before you book them. Now, let me tell you real quickly why this is so important. I deal with so many brides who they come to me after they've already booked their venue, which totally makes sense because when you get engaged, you're excited, you book the venue, you know where you want to be, and then they get to me. And we go over some of these questions and it's too late sometimes for them, and they've already signed the contract. So I am going to go over some questions with you that you need to be asking your wedding venue before you book with them to make sure that everything for the next 9 to 12 months flows, it's all copacetic, and you know exactly what you're signing up for. So get your pens and paper, and here we go. Okay, first things first. We talked about this in another video I did over wedding budget tips. So if you haven't seen that video, make sure you go and watch that on my YouTube channel. But make sure that you know what your plan B is and that you're comfortable with it. Unless you live in Hawaii or Southern California, your plan B is something that really needs to be considered. Even though we like to think it's going to be rainbows and sunshine and butterflies, which hopefully it will be on your big day, that's not always realistic. A plan B is something that needs to be considered, and you need to know what to expect, what it's going to look like, and make sure that it's something that you're comfortable with and honestly still excited about in case that's the route that we need to go. Number 2, are tables and chairs included in the rental fee or in the contract? The reason this is important is because tables and chairs add up significantly. So for example, in this area, Northern Virginia, the white padded folding chairs that you would use for ceremony are about $250 a piece. So 100 of those, that's $250 just for ceremony. And then you think about the reception, and a lot of the brides, including myself, really love those beautiful Chiavari chairs for reception. Those, you guys, start at like $650, but most of them about $750 a piece. So that's just for chairs. If your venue includes those things already with it, then you're already saving yourself a big chunk of money. And if it doesn't, that's okay. It doesn't mean that you can't book there. It just means now you know how to budget more accordingly. So ask those questions so that you know how to look at your budget in the future and what to expect, and you're ready for it. Number 3, can I bring in my own vendors? This is my favorite one, especially if you're booking a venue that's not a typical hotel or something like that. If it's just the venue, a lot of times, most times, they're going to have a vendor list, which I love. It's great. That means they're typically vendors that they have worked with before, they highly recommend, and it makes life easier for you as the bride. But the one thing that you want to know is, are these vendors that they require you to use, and if you use somebody else you need to pay a fee, or are these vendors that they just recommend because they've had really great experiences with them? So make sure that you ask that question. Number 4, is there a bridal suite? This one is simple. It sounds silly, but it's simple and a lot of times overlooked. You just want to know what the bridal suite looks like, how soon you can get in there. So do you have time for your bridal party to get in there and 4, 5, 10 girls get ready, including yourself? And you want to know if there's space and lighting for everybody to get ready in a timely manner. Number 5, ask to see pictures of previous events there. You want to know what the ceremony setup has looked like before, not just a sample ceremony. You want to see some ceremonies that have been done there before, so different layouts with chairs, you know, that are straight across, that are curved, all of that. You want to see what that looks like on the ceremony site. And you also want to know what the reception is going to look like for a sample buffet, for a sample served meal, with the dance floor in different places if that's an option, and also excuse me, and also what it looks like with a DJ versus a band, because those can be very different. So you just want to know what to expect there. Number 6, do they provide coordination services? And if so, what are those services? A lot of times the venue is going to have an on-site or day of coordinator or representative from the venue, and that's great. But it's really important for you as the bride to know if that person is just there to turn on the lights and make sure that the bathroom is clean and tidy, or if that person is going to walk you down or help you get down the aisle, plan or do your floor plan, help you with your timeline, manage all the vendors that come in, etc. You just want to know what that person is going to be doing so that you can plan accordingly. If you need to hire somebody for a day of that is going to be doing things that are a little bit more in depth than what a typical on-site venue representative will be doing. And then last but not least, when are you allowed entry into the venue and when do you need to be out? And this needs to be clearly written out in your contract as well. The reason is, say your ceremony is at 5 p.m. and you're planning to get there at 2:30. Well, if you have extreme lighting, or your DJ or your band needs a certain amount of time to get set up, or the caterers need a lot of time. Your caterers are your biggest entity and they have a lot going on. We'll talk about catering. That's a whole nother video because they require an entire video for them. They may need more time to get ready than you do as the bride. You need to make sure that your vendors have the time that they need to get ready in the venue. And if not, let's say it's a public venue, your vendors need to know how much time they do have so everybody can plan accordingly. And same thing with leaving. Let's say that your ceremony or your reception is over at 11. That's great. Your vendors may need an hour, they may need 2 hours to get out, but whatever it is, they need to know what that timeline looks like so that they can get out and also protect your security deposit by getting out on time. Because rest assured, the venue is going to charge you for going over any hourly rate other than what's in your contracted time. So you really want to make sure that you have a clear idea of what to expect and it's written out so that everybody's on the same page. I hope that these have been helpful for you. If there's something that you have a question about or anything that you would love to see me do a video on, please reach out to me. And if you found this video helpful or know somebody who would take some guidance away from this, please feel free to share. Have a great night, guys. We will see you soon. Bye.